So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZW Games 5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below.
What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Z4 Games and I'm bringing to you guys a Winged Dragon of War deck update. Now this is incorporating a beast engine which was inspired by a video done by Jay Stapes on YouTube for his title Best Competitive Mount Ishtar Var Deck 2020. So if you want to see what inspired this deck, go check that video out. He's got some the deck profile at the start and some dual videos afterwards showing off how the deck works, and I was really inspired by that deck. I always liked the idea of using the Beast Engine, just because they have a single spell that gets 3 monsters on the board, which is just exactly what an Egyptian god deck needs. So this uses that engine along with a few other things to really get going, using extra deck options, as you can see, while also still maintaining the main goal of getting out the Winged Dragon of Ra to just OTK your opponent with a 4K monster that just pops everything on the board. There's other cool text in here which was also inspired from that video, which I'll get to later on. But this is really cool, and the best thing about this is that you can, if you like a different god, if your god is different, your favorite god is different, you can literally just take out the gods from this one, put in your ones, fill in the missing gaps, and then that's it. Just because I say missing gaps because the Winged Dragon of Ra has more cards than the other two gods. So you will have to put in like 3 additional extra cards, but that's not difficult at all. So I'm going to run through the deck, explain my card choices and everything as I do usually, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So starting off with obviously your 2 copies of the Winged Dragon of Ra. You can bump this up to 3 if you want to, but the deck is a little tight for space, as I had to incorporate other cards in here as well. We are actually playing the 1 sphere mode, which is different to my usual WoW profiles, and what's definitely different to my usual WoW profiles is we're playing 3 copies of Phoenix mode. Usually I say you always just go for 1 Phoenix mode, 2 to 3 sphere modes, and 2 VARs, but this profile has a really cool tech that only synergizes with the Phoenix mode that can really start nuking your opponent's boards pretty easily, and it's a really cool tech, really fun, and I'm surprised I didn't notice it before. So when I get to the spells, we will see what that cool tech is. But yeah, 3 Phoenix modes. Phoenix mode, you kind of like run backwards with this profile. You tend to like get the Phoenix mode out sometimes first, and then you go into the sphere mode, but the sphere mode isn't there. I kind of want to bump sphere mode to 2. A bit more further testing, I see how the ratios go. It may drop down to like a 2 VAR, 2 sphere, 2 Phoenix ratio, but at the moment I'm going with the 3 Phoenix mode and 1 sphere mode. Going on with the Marek Ishtar theme, but it's actually pretty cool in the deck, is 2 copies of Lava Golem and 1 copy of YUGIOH. The Lava Golem actually does help because you're not actually limited to your normal summon in this deck at all, other than like tributing for the god. But you can do combos where you can like Lava Golem and still get the god out to wipe the board even more. But the Lava Golem is in here to just help deal with problematic threats without using your normal summon. Yeah, it does take away your normal summon essentially, but you're still removing the 2 threats. You can just swap these out for Kaijus if you so want to, but it just means that you have essentially 3 monster ways to remove boards on the field through the 1 sphere mode and now the 2 Lava Golems. The 1 YUGIOH is in here just to help stop you dying while also gaining life points, because this build does actually utilize ways to just summon out the standard Winged Dragon of Ra and then just pumping up his attack points for your life points through his own effects. So we can get Ra to a ridiculous amount of attack points, and you'll see how we can do that later on. Something I always wanted to play when it first got announced for Ra, and I'm actually really happy I'm playing it. But we'll get to that later on. first off, starting off with the Beast Engines, we're playing 3 of Valifron, Mythical Beast of the Forest. We're playing 3 of this just because it's one of your cards that you summon off the spell, and then you can use it, but it also has further synergies because you can use its own effect to discard a card and revive a level 2 beast, which then combos very well with this little guy, who is Kalantosa, Mythical Beast of the Forest. When this is summoned through a beast effect, you can pop a monster your opponent controls. So it's a really good board removal. Combos very well with each other, helps you go into your rank 2 plays. But you also need it in here for high ratios for your spell resolve. I'm playing the 1 tag of the Fabled Cerebral. Combos very well with this with the deer, just because you can discard this, revive a beast, and then since this was discarded, it can summon itself back. So like 1 beast, 2 casts essentially gets you 3 monsters on board. So if you haven't used your normal summon that turn, you can go into the Winged Dragon of Fire if you need to, or you've got 3 monsters to just play around with. It's really handy. Now I'm playing the 3 Nimble Mongers just because it is another level 2 beast that you can summon, while also using its own effect to not only gain life points but generate 2 more bodies on the board when it is destroyed. So Nimble Monger is actually really good. And I'm playing the 1 tech of Raikou. Again, it's just another level 2 beast, but also just has a good board removal effect. Just a popping effect as well. So, and the milling 2 can actually be quite beneficial just because you can send like your other VAR pieces that you need to graveyard. So that's pretty good there. He was playing 2 of this, but I only had the 1 spare. But I understand. But even though 1 danger Tatsunoko is still pretty good, it's the only danger that guarantees you an additional body through its effect. Whether it's discarded or something else is discarded, you're gonna get a body on the board with Tatsunoko. You can not play it if you want to. So there's that. And now the spice. I feel like this is the spiciest tech of the whole deck, and that is 3 Ghost Sisters and Spooky Dogwood. I really like this tech. When it first got announced, I was like, yes, I can just gain ridiculous life points for that, and I wanted to play it in the deck. And I feel like this build is perfect because the beasts stall for just days. Like the beast engine can just like really stall out your opponent quite nicely, while also just doing the filling up the monsters for a while. And then you have Ghost Sister, which is just giving you stupid amount of life points, so your opponent just cannot OTK you. And then if you do get the VAR on board, you're just gonna go for game. Like it's just absolutely insane. You're gonna also, the life points is there to just give VAR all the pops that it needs to just like literally VAR can just wipe up the entire board just through its effect, through the Ghost Sister. And it's just really cool. I really like it, and yeah, I'm just happy to be playing it in a VAR deck. So that's it for monsters. Moving on to spells. The card that just makes this whole deck work is Obedient Schooled. Like you probably just guessed this, as I'm just constantly using level 2 beasts. But Obedient Schooled is really good. Just generating 3 monsters on the board for just through 1 card to just help you, set up your VAR and just go for game. The cool thing about this is that this is just like can work with all the Egyptian gods, just because I think it locks you out of special summoning through the rest of the turn, for the turn, except for beasts. So unfortunately you can't use this and go sphere mode to get VAR out, so you'd have to literally do this and get the original VAR out. But there are ways to just like get Phoenix mode to graveyard, use this, summon out 3 monsters, normal summon VAR, then you can use VAR's own effect to pop himself to get Phoenix mode back, attack with Phoenix mode at the end phase, sends itself to graveyard, summons sphere mode, and you've got the whole loop going. You're doing it a different way. You're essentially doing it backwards, because your main goal is to get the Phoenix mode out first, essentially, quote unquote, and then work your way backwards. So there are still ways of doing it. So yeah, so the Obedient School is really good. I do like it. I think that combo actually works. I'm not sure. If the combo doesn't work, I'm sure you'll let me know that in the comments below. But again, there are just ways to just use this card. But this card is also good for Sliver and Obelisk. So I may take in the snipers because snipers like my second favourite card, or I might just take in all three, so we'll see. I have the other two in this in the side deck with this, so 3 copies of Aya's Rock Sunrise. No, it just revives a beast, so you can use this to revive the deer can then discard to get back the rabbit can then pop, and if you discard a Fable Cerberus, you know Fable Cerberus summons himself back, and then there you go, you got 3 monsters on the board. So the beasts just really synergize well with each other, and I really do like it. And I think like Aya's Rock Sunrise just helps with that. Also, reducing your opponent's attack points can help for more damage, which is pretty good. 1 copy of Monster Reborn just for more revival. The original profile is playing 3 pots of the Quizzentness, whatever it is, the one that banished from YUGIOH, you know, the really expensive one that I do not have. So in the replacement for that, I'm playing the 2 Mana Bound Creators and the 1 Terraforming. Yeah, I know it's not like an exact replacement. You know, a draw card for a field spell that doesn't draw. Yeah, that's not exactly a replacement, Joe. But I like playing Mana Bound Creator in the wild deck, and since I didn't have those 3 cards, I thought, oh cool, you know, 3 for free. But if you don't want to play this, and you want to have to draw power, and you don't have that pot, just play like 2 Desires, and like, you can play like 2 Desires and a Mana Bound, or 2 Desires and an Upstart, you know, whatever your ratio wants to be, but I'm playing this just because I like to give my god protection, since I'm investing so much into it still. I want to give him protection, so... 1 Regeki just to help clear out monsters that you don't want to deal with. And the spice, I think the second spiciest tech in the deck is this. A wild monster appears. This card is insane. For why exactly? Just because this card lets you special summon. So I'm going to read it. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, special summon from your hand 1 monster with an original level of 10 or lower that cannot be normal summoned or set, ignoring its summoning conditions. It is unaffected by the effects of your opponent's cards except for its own effects and this card's. Also shuffle it into the deck during your opponent's next end phase. For the rest of this turn, you cannot normal summon or set or special summon monsters, and your opponent takes no damage. The main thing about this is that if you just need to clear your opponent's board, and you have Ghost Sister in hand still, so you know, like, okay, as long as I just clear their board, they're not going to OTK me next turn, I can just go off. Use this, summon Phoenix mode, wipe out your opponent's board. Phoenix mode is already unaffected by your opponent's card effects, no matter what they have. So once they don't negate this, you're good to go. Because then you can just summon Phoenix mode. Immortal Phoenix then pays 1,000 life points to pop a card, pop a monster your opponent controls. So you just go 1,000 pop, 1,000 pop, 1,000 pop. You literally just wipe out the entire board, essentially just through this and Immortal Phoenix. Immortal Phoenix sends himself to a graveyard during the end phase. You don't get the Sphere Mode summon, unfortunately, but it's fine. Again, if you had like the Ghost Sister in hand, she's going to protect you for next turn because they're not going to be able to OTK you. And then you can just go off from that. So a wild monster appears is a really cool tech. I really like it. I'm trying to pick up a 3rd one. Dale's got my 3rd one, so I need to get that off him at some point. But so far I'm playing the 2 copies just to see how it goes, and it's really fun. Last of the traps is 1 copy of Metal Reflect Slime. Again, a Marek kind of card, but it does protect you. It does give you the body on the board, and 3k Defender is still pretty nice. There's a level 10 token as well, so if you have the Mana Bound Creator, you have a level 10 token, 3k defense that can't be destroyed by card effects or targets. Like, it's pretty funny. And then 3 copies of Reckless Greed just to help you draw into your cards. This card's pretty good in the deck just because if you like set 2 of them, draw 4. If you draw into your Ghost Sister, you're pretty much good, and you just gained 3 additional more cards. So that's it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. The extra deck isn't complete just because I do need to pick up a few more copies of certain cards, which is essentially this card, number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sandayu. I need to pick up 2 more copies of this because this is the main one you're going to go into. It just takes 2 level 2 beasts, and it gets you a token. So essentially you're still getting 2 monsters from 2 monsters, but this card can't be attacked while you control that token, and the token's just going to be massive because the token is the attack of the strongest monster currently on the board. So It's really good and I do like it. I just need to pick up 2 more copies of it. But we are playing other level rank 2s like the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin, Gachi Gengetsu. My god, I can't believe I'm actually using this in a profile again. And Sky Cavalry Santana. Just good rank 2 XCs that you just have lying around. You can just toss them in this deck. But again, I'd play like at least 2 copies of this. I just want to get 2 more copies while it's cheap. Anyway, so there's that. And then the rest of the deck is essentially just like links that you can just use. So like, you know, you got your Borlo Dragon, you got your Topologic Bomber Dragon, just because it's just an easy link for to go into. Your Soldier Skull Dread, you know, if you can pull it off, then you know you're netting a lots of advantage. Underclock Taker, just because having a 4K VAR underneath this, you know, can just produce something to essentially 0 and just wipe it for massive damage. And then as many Mrs. Radiance that you want to. I'm just playing 2 copies at the moment, but you can essentially play like 3 of this. So the main cards you're going to be using in this extra deck is this and this essentially, just because this is just your easiest link 2 to go into, because all your monsters are essentially beasts, minus the gods. And then you've got your Raccoon, just because he's the best rank 2 to go into, just because he generates you board presence while also being nearly unkillable. But that's it, guys, for the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. As I said, this deck is just essentially quote-unquote perfect, just because it's so customizable to your personal like, and essentially in terms of like what your favorite god is. But the funniest thing as well, you can play the Wickeds in this as well, just because the Wickeds take 3 sacrifices. So you can essentially just take out all the bar pieces, which is essentially this. That's 6 cards. So you can play like 2 Wicked Avatars, 2 Dreadroots, 2 Erasers, 3 Avatars, 2 Dreadroots and an Eraser. Like, the cool this deck is just so customizable. I really like it, and I'm just happy to share it with you guys, just because I love Ra. Ra's one of my favorite guys, just because it's mostly just because I won GX episode with the guy who used to like the fake copy against Judai, and I just thought it was really cool looking in that episode. Like, they really animated him really well. I just really liked how he was just like used to his near fullest potential. And I just fell in with Ra ever since then. You know, I mean, loved him before, but that episode just really made him stand out. So, as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.